What's going on, guys? My name is Rising and welcome back to another gun guide for Call of Duty Mobile. In this series, we'll be focusing on in-depth breakdowns, kips, builds, and class setups for every single weapon in Call of Duty Mobile's multiplayer. And today we'll be covering the BK57 assault rifle. The BK57 is based on the AKU-94 assault rifle in real life, which is a bullpup conversion kit for AK pattern rifles. The BK57 is a 4 to 6 shot kill weapon, dealing 31 damage in the initial damage range, dropping all the way down to 19. Unlike most other weapons, the BK57 offers insufficient damage multipliers, which means you have to hit 3 shots to the upper torso or 2 shots to the head mixed in with body shots to achieve a 3-shot kill in the initial damage range. The rate of fire is moderate for an assault rifle at 659 rounds per minute. This means our time to kill will be 273 milliseconds in the first and second damage range, which is not really a competitive time to kill in this game, and it increases to 455 milliseconds in the longer ranges. However, if you manage to land 3 upper torso shots or 2 headshots mixed in with body shots, your time to kill will be 182 milliseconds, which is great but difficult to achieve.
Let's look at the range profile, which in this case, the 4-shot kill range is just 22 meters, while our 5-shot kill range extends up to 35 meters. This is not a satisfactory range profile for a gun with such low time to kill. The potential 3-shot kill range is also small, just up to 10 meters. And if we compare the BK57 with other meta weapons, we can see that it kills slower than just about every gun mentioned here. There's no niche range where the BK57 performs better in terms of time to kill. Let's have a look on the accuracy stats now. The BK57 has moderate ADS bullet spread. However, it has above average hipfire spread, which is nice for those point-blank encounters. The hit clinch and bullet impact values are also standard for an assault rifle. And if we see the recoil of this weapon, it kicks a lot to the right in the first 5 shots, stabilizes for the next 5 shots, and then kicks to the left again. This is a very weird recoil pattern, which may throw your aim off if you're not aware of it, although the climb rate is not so high, and thus the recoil can be controllable.
Coming to the handling stats, the BK57 has a slightly above average aim down sight time at 240 milliseconds, while the sprint to fire time is slightly below average at 170 milliseconds. And for the mobility stats, the BK57 is above average in all of the departments, which is nice. It looks like there are some redeeming qualities of this weapon, to say at least. The magazine capacity is also above average for an assault rifle at 35 rounds with 140 in reserve. It reloads in 1.2 seconds with an empty reload time of 1 second. It is quite surprising to see that the empty reload time is faster than its tactical reload time. But with that, that covers all the base stats of this weapon. There is one last unique magazine attachment, which I want to cover for the BK57, which improves its lethality greatly.
This attachment is the 7.62 40-round reload, which increases its base damage in the first 3 damage ranges, while also improving its headshot multiplier from 1.2 to 1.3. This means now we need just 1 upper torso or headshot mixed in with body shots in the initial damage range to achieve a 3-shot kill, which is really nice. All of our mobility values are reduced with this attachment, but I'd say that's a worthwhile trade-off. The magazine capacity and bullet impact values are also improved, which is nice. With minimal downsides and great upsides, this attachment becomes a mandatory attachment for the BK57. And with that, that covers all the stats for this unique attachment, and now's the time to see how to build this weapon efficiently. Since the BK57 has a lot of horizontal recoil, I like to reduce it with minimal penalties. We have the monolithic suppressor and MIP extended light barrel for concealment and range, elite foregrip for cutting down that horizontal recoil massively, granulated grip tape for improved accuracy, and of course the 7.62 40-round reload.
With this build, we nicely reduce our horizontal recoil while also boosting all of our damage ranges by 45%, and thus our potential 3-shot range increases up to 14.5 meters, while our guaranteed 4-shot kill range increases up to 31.9 meters. Our 5-shot kill range also increases up to 50.8 meters, which is nice if you're able to control the recoil at those ranges. You can see its comparison with the other meta weapons. The BK57 is now somewhat viable, but it still lags behind the top-tier options. The mobility values are reduced by a little bit, but you have to sacrifice them in order to make the weapon viable. The recoil and accuracy values are also greatly improved, and you'll now be pretty comfortable using it. As for an example class setup for respawns, we have the FHA-18 for taking down streaks. We have the perk Greed Red as our wild card, allowing us to carry 2 red perks, which we have Dauntless and Flak Jacket in this case. And for the other 2 perks, we have Quick Fix and Hardline. You may swap out Hardline for firepower support if you want. For the lethal equipment, we have a Molotov cocktail, and for the tactical, we have a trophy system. Operator skills and score streaks can be chosen as preference. For Search and Destroy, I prefer a melee for efficient rushing, although you may use a pistol if you want. The perks remain the same apart from using Dead Silence in the Brew perk slot. We have a Contact Grenade as the lethal equipment and a Smoke Grenade as the tactical for blocking enemy lines of sight. I know that I always use the same class setup in all of my videos because it's just an example setup. You can tweak other minor things like perks and equipments, but since the major emphasis is on the primary weapon itself, I tend to ignore other stuff since those are flexible.
And with that is going to wrap it up on the gun guide for the BK57. As for my thoughts on the weapon, I think it's kind of underpowered. It hasn't really received considerable amounts of buffs to make it better. Although it's better than the M4 at least, it desperately needs some buffs to few of its key factors that hold it back, such as its insufficient body part damage multipliers and its 4-shot range profile. This is the reason why it gets outclassed by most other weapons and have no niche spot in the game. The unfriendly recoil also makes it an uncommon choice to the player base. Overall, the BK57 is a mid-tier option in the current meta. I don't really like to play with this weapon since the punishments are too high for its benefits, but if you want, you can definitely give it a shot. And of course, those were just my thoughts on the BK57. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of this weapon? Where would you rank the BK57 in terms of viability in the current meta? Just let your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any assault rifle in mind, let me know which one you want me to cover next. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like on this video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.